Hi, it's Psychic Cynthia here, and happy new moon in Pisces, almost new moon. This new moon will be exact in the early pre-dawn hours of March 10th. It's Saturday where I'm at, March 10th, 2024, bringing in a wonderful cleansing energy that is needed. But remember, Pisces is the last sign, the last of the 12. It's kind of like the old man or, the withering energies, the ebbing of the energy. So even though this is a new moon, and yes, it's a time to begin to set goals, um, typically, but because it's the last new moon of the cycle and also the last new moon before the spring equinox or the equinox, depending, spring or fall, depending on where you live, uh, which, half of the world, I'm saying, which hemisphere. Um, yeah, this may be more of a time of low energy, of cleansing, of releasing, and that's okay. Um, just think of it as a natural spring cleanse that is happening. And I would suggest that you do things around this time to help support your vitality because it may be lower, it may be weaker than normal. And of course, that can make you prone to things like feelings of depression or hopelessness or despair. It can also, when our emotional template is a little down, that also makes us more prone to physical symptoms, like colds or flus or whatever, or, even, stuff in the digestive or elimination systems. I won't get into details, you know what I mean. uh, so yeah, your physical body, your vitality, typically it is lower, especially for those of in the northern hemisphere. This is the low time before it reignites. Actually, I mean, it is building up, but we can't see it on the surface yet. It'll really start building up after the equinox, which I think is coming early this year, like on March 18th or 19th. It can't be that early. It's early though. It's usually by the 21st. So I'll have to double check that. I'm feeling a little Pisces, spacey new moon myself right now. So yeah, Pisces is a really spacey energy. It can, it's very psychic in its own way and mystical, very mystical, but it's not always very grounded. So you might be feeling, a little ungrounded right now, and there may be a need to get down to earth, and there's a lot of ways you can do that. Of course, my favorite way to get grounded is just whenever I can to get outside and, to be walking on the earth or by trees or in the sunlight, in the fresh air. But I realize, that depends on the weather. And like yesterday was not a good day here. You can see the Pisces energy really at our weather because, Pisces just throws it all around. Like, one day it's, high of like 38 and, freezing rain almost and just not nice. And then today it's not going to be real warm, but I think we're going to get into the 50s and it's just a gorgeous day. I'm going to make mother tinctures. So yeah, this is an outer world expression of the inner mirror that's happening right now for all of us. We're all kind of being tossed back and forth between, those times of, you know feeling, down and maybe like it's raining inside, like a cold rain versus, the bright and sunny days. And of course, those are extremes. There's all kinds of lassitude within the emotional experience range here, but you get what I'm saying. So lots of emotions. Actually, that's one thing I'm saying. Lots of emotions, lots of reflections. You may notice dreams coming up that deal with people from the past or issues from the past, and that just means you're trying to heal it. Sometimes, too, the characters from the past represent yourself and things you're going through now. So analyze those dreams carefully and broadly, or maybe with more than just one meaning right now. But there are definitely psychic messages coming through from dreams. So pay attention to that. And Pisces is one of those signs that does best in some ways. I mean, of course, we all need to get in touch with our inner environments and our inner selves and let that lead us. But some of the signs do best waiting until the outer world acts upon them, until there is a sign or until somebody else in their life, a trusted person, helps to ignite them on the path. Or sometimes even when tragedy hits, that's what brings out the best in them. So, yeah, under the influence of this Pisces new moon, we're all a little bit like that. There is a power in, you know, reading the signs, waiting to respond. Um, because we're not under the influence of Aries yet, and that's more where we take a more yang approach, you know. So around the 20th, 21st, um, then you can really, you know, jump into action more with your personal will. But for now, you need to go with the flow. If you don't even have the energy to fight the flow, okay? So if you try to do that, you're really gonna, it's not wise a lot of times to fight the flow, but if you're going to do that, you need to do it at a time when you have higher energy, and this is just not the time. I mean, we're also coming, really, we're backing up close to Mercury retrograde. It hasn't started yet, but the pre-shadow is about to start soon. We still got another week, I think, and then the pre-storm, and then the retrograde starts on March 31st. So, yeah, you know, go with the flow. Follow your natural needs. If you need to sleep, sleep if you can. I get it. We have to work. But, you know, a lot of us are learning in this new day. We're learning to get that work-life balance better. So keep working on that. And a lot of times it involves letting yourself rest, or, you know, not being such a perfectionist. You know, perfectionism is such an extreme form of egotism. It really is. So just free yourself from that. You know, to assume that when you're, you know, giving your all and it's not good enough, I mean, that's just really, you know, the ego getting on you. So give your best, you know, in that moment, okay? If you're not feeling well, or if you're feeling tired, I mean, maybe the best you can do is to go rest, okay? Or maybe the best you can do is to focus on your spiritual edification, because that's what you need to do for you right now. Focus on your creativity. I mean, yeah, I get it. You got to pay the bills, but, you know, you got to trust. Pisces is all about trust. You know, there have been times, I mean, even recently, where I said, you know what, universe, I need more time to focus on, you know, doing the videos for people, which I don't get paid for, by the way, okay? And I said, you got to provide the money somehow, because this takes time and energy and I don't get paid for it. And the universe brought it, okay? Kept my bills paid. I'm not saying that's going to make you the richest person in the world, but trust. Trust that you'll be taken care of if you follow your spiritual yearnings, you know, your higher self path. And do that too when the sun enters Aries, when we have our rebirth, our equinox rebirth later this month. You should still trust like a child. Only then it's more about trusting and, you know, getting into action. But we're not into the time of action quite yet. I mean, you can have a slow action if you want. It's more of a time of waiting, swimming with the flow, emerging. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, we've got this lovely peach tree, which I'm going to do a mother tincture of this flowers later here really soon. But yeah, a lot of us haven't even emerged up fully yet. We're still, you know, we're still rumbling down underneath the earth, trying to come up out of dormancy. So yes, be patient with yourself, be loving, be kind, be patient with others. Don't be in too much of a hurry just yet, because that will only create frustration, disappointment, loss, and problems. And probably you don't want more of that. Well, if you do, have at it. Okay. I know some people like to do things the hard way. My goodness, I'm just surprised at how many people like to do things the hard way, even once they've been enlightened about an easier way. If that's your choice, that's your choice. Then own it, okay? If you're like, hey, yeah, I'm going to ignore all this and I'm going to do it the hard way, well, you should own that, okay? that at least will be more empowering, okay? I'm not just being facetious here. When we choose to do things the hard way, we should acknowledge that we're choosing. You know, at least there's an empowerment in that. So, but for some of us, we want to, you know, do things the gentler way. So hopefully you'll follow some of the tips in this video, and that will assist you with that. All right. New moon blessings to you, and much renewal and peace during this time of new moon in Pisces.